3, 2, 1, start. At the instance of the respondent, the Central Administrative Tribunal issued an order on 4/8/1993 staying the disciplinary proceedings against respondent. The state of Rajasthan thereupon reinstated the respondent in service, revoking the order of suspension pending inquiry. The respondent amended his OA requesting that the disciplinary inquiry against him be stayed pending the criminal trial. When the original application came up to final hearing, the only ground urged by the respondent was that the departmental proceedings be not allowed to go on so long as the criminal proceedings are pending against him. It was opposed by the state of Rajasthan, stating inter alia that inasmuch as the respondent has filed a detailed written statement of defense on 9/2/1993 in response to memo of charges framed against him, and because the respondent has disclosed all possible defenses in the said written statement, there is no occasion or warrant for staying the disciplinary proceedings. Stanza. The tribunal found that the charge sheet in the criminal case and the memo of charges in the disciplinary proceedings are based upon same facts and allegations. It rejected the state's plea that the respondent, having already disclosed his defense, will not be prejudiced in any manner by proceeding with the disciplinary inquiry. The tribunal observed that we cannot say at this stage what will emerge during the inquiry proceedings after examination of the evidence. The applicant may well have to put forward further defense as and when material against him emerges during the inquiry proceedings, and disclosure of his defense at the stage could well prejudice his defense in the criminal trial. We are of the opinion that the order of the tribunal is unsustainable both in law and on the facts of the case. The petitioner therein was subjected to disciplinary proceedings in the first instance and was dismissed from service on 17th September 1953. On 23rd February 1954, the police submitted a charge sheet against the petitioner therein in a criminal court in respect of the very same charges. The petitioner challenged the initiation of criminal proceedings on the ground that it amounts to putting him in double jeopardy within the meaning of clause within bracket 2 of Article 20 of the Constitution of India. A constitution bench of this court rejected the said plea, holding that there is no legal rejected the said plea, holding that there is no legal objection to the initiation or continuation of criminal proceedings. Stanza. There is no nexus between the nature of the classification and the aims and objects of the act, because there is no basis for classification given in the act. Trial under the Prevention of Corruption Act entails certain disadvantages which result in the denial of equal protection of the laws, and therefore the relevant provision of the Act offends against Article 14 of the Constitution. This part of the argument is based on the ground that the presumptions referred to in Section 4 and Section 5 within bracket 3 of the act place the accused persons at a distinct disadvantage. Stop. There is no direct authority in which the wires of the Prevention of Corruption Act was challenged on these grounds. Stop. The point was on one occasion raised in the Supreme Court but was abandoned. Therefore was not just adjudicated upon. Stop. Paragraph 14 of the judgment of Bose J states the circumstances in which the argument was dropped. Stop. At this stage of the argument, we asked the learned counsel for the appellants whether they intended to challenge the wires of this law under Article 14 of the Constitution, because if they did, the matter would have to go to a constitution bench, as we being only 3 judges would have no power to decide it. Stop. The learned Attorney General at once objected because the point had not been raised at any stage and was not to be found even in the grounds of appeal to this court. Stop. The learned counsel for the appellants replied that they did not wish to take the point. Stop. Stanza. The inverse argument challenging the validity of Section 409 Indian Penal Code was raised in a number of cases heard and decided by the Calcutta, Bombay and Allahabad High Courts. Stop. It was contended in those cases on behalf of the accused persons that ordinarily a charge under Section 409 Indian Penal Code placed an accused person at a distinct disadvantage, and that a trial under the Prevention of Corruption Act conferred certain privileges and benefits which were denied if he was charged under Section 409 Indian Penal Code. Stop. The courts were of the view that Section 409 Indian Penal Code was valid despite the existence of Section 5 of the Prevention of Corruption Act, because the charge under Section 409 Indian Penal Code did not involve any disabilities or disadvantages which would be construed into a denial of equal protection of the laws. Stop. Over.